Alright guys, crypto market, we're back. Bitcoin is under the microscope. We're following this one very closely. Most of my funds are actually on the Bitcoin, and I'm pretty content with the situation here. It's moving along pretty well, especially the last few days. But what I'm mostly impressed about with this technical situation is the fact that price did break away finally from that danger zone that I've declared right here, that 39.90. We saw how stubborn, resistant it was. Later on, it actually turned into a support, and at some point, price began to kind of explode upwards and move away from that danger zone, which is pretty important. Now, I want to show you a little bit, well, the bigger picture here is actually coming from the daily chart. Obviously, we have a bigger picture coming from the weekly and the monthly, but that's the only thing that's going to show us is a huge bear market, right? Huge bear market that's coming from 20,000, right? That was right at the end of 2017. Now, obviously, what I would like to focus on is what's going on right now, because this trading range, this sideways movement that it started to form around the end of November 2018, this may actually be the part where the market starting to turn around, right? We're talking about the big trend. So the bear market may actually be bottoming out here and preparing for the next bull market. So in order for us to determine that with relative confidence, we need two things to happen. First, we need price to hit that higher section. That's kind of the first stage, the preliminary stage. And obviously, and also, if you remember, I actually plan to get out with probably most of my position, because at that point, that's going to be the danger zone, right? That's going to be the danger zone. Everything from 42.82 and the previous high. Because at that point, price may actually go for another downside leg. It's possible. But I do believe that it's more likely that it won't. That it would actually keep drilling higher till it meets the ultimate resistance coming from 46.78, right? 46.78. By the time price would get there, I also see the 230 moving average here closing in, so it will probably be also in the area and would just enhance that resistance. But eventually, if that's the process of bottoming out, then we should be expecting price to make it, right? To overcome that obstacle, break out, and begin the real turnaround, the full-fledged upside reversal, and that would send us to reestimate our long-term perspective here. Because right now we're still focusing on the short-term cycle, and that's why we plan to get out around this area here. 42.82, that's the first and final destination would have to be here, the previous high, 44.90. But it's really interesting right now. We see some positive sentiment coming from not only from the Bitcoin, from all across board, and I'm really anxious to see whether we have some major key levels that needs to be broken before we can go full force on a long-term perspective. All right, guys, that's about that for the Bitcoin. That's about that for today. Till next time, be well.